guys, today we're going to be talking about contact with birth family and adoption. My name is Nairi and I'm running an adoption support type family channel, so if you think that could be interesting to you, then please take the time to subscribe. So from a point of view of keeping in touch with birth family and being open about birth family, clearly, if you're having an open adoption, this is going to be an amazing opportunity to bring the child up in an adoptive family, but keep all the lines of communication open with the birth family who may well have voluntarily given the child over. And therefore, there are many positive reasons why you would keep those lines of communication open for the child. And my key point in this video is that whatever happens, whether it's keeping in touch with birth family or not keeping in touch with birth family, it has to be to the positive experience of the child at all times, because there are many parties at play: the birth family, the adopters and the adoptee. There's all those different emotions and feelings that are out there, but the key point always has to be to act in the positive benefit for the child. Whatever that might be, and that's going to look different in each circumstance for each child. It still means that the adoptive family need to maintain control of the parenting and the arrangements, and still need to feel that they can make the decisions, and that it doesn't become a situation where almost both families are tussling over what's happening with a child and what they're wearing and where they're going and what they're doing. In my situation, it's a closed adoption 100%, and so how would you play the situation with child gets older if they start to ask about their birth family, or the birth family start to ask about meeting up with a child, and this has been a closed adoption and potentially a traumatic and abusive start for the child? What you need to bear in mind is that as a family, you are trying to nurture them away from past trauma, but you're not trying to eradicate their history, which of course you can't do and you never should do. So it's very different, and the way that you do it will always be based on the child's reaction to the situation. Let's take the example of a child asking to see their birth family, and they're old enough to do that, and you've not actually met up with the birth family before, but the child is asking to do that. I would say your first port of call would be to find out the reasons why the child wants to meet their birth family, and to be clear with them that there may be disappointments along the way. So get to the bottom of the motivation. If it's curiosity, that would be normal. Family, maybe they've just fallen out with you and it seems like that it might be a better option, or in something online where they've seen the birth family there and it's just raised that awareness that there is another family out there. Make sure that they're clear about what might happen if you contact the birth family. You decide to move forward, then clearly what you're going to try to do are to meet with the birth family before you take the child along and see what situation they're in, see how they are, how do they present. If they've been on drugs, are they either clean, or when you see them, can they present to you in a way that's acceptable, that if you take your child along, they're going to be able to present okay? Or are they stinking of alcohol? Are they high on drugs? And my next point is that you would choose your place carefully and instruct social workers to be there, or you could make sure that it's in a contact centre if you're not too sure how it's going to go. You may feel that that's not necessary and that you are quite comfortable, you think it's going to be okay. It could be that the birth family have moved on from their circumstances when the children were given up, and a lot of the situations around that were there when the child was adopted are not now there. It could be that an abusive partner isn't around anymore and things are looking a lot more positive. Feel that perhaps an open space is a good place to meet up with a birth family, because open spaces are non-threatening. There doesn't need to be continuous conversation, continuous eye contact, and the child has the freedom to move around the space. And also, if you're in a public place, it's generally speaking going to be a bit safer. After contact with the birth family, however well it goes and however much it was wanted by both child and birth family, there will be a reaction from the child. It might not be immediately, it might be some time after. You will need to be therapeutic around your parenting after the event. You may find your child goes really quietly, or you might find that they go hectic, regression from the child because it takes them back to that place. Then again, it's all about what is in the best interest of the child. So you then might have to review the situation, and it might be that it needs to be some time forward before you try and anticipate doing this again. It's always wise to try and keep the doors open to an adoptive family, whether it be just through letterbox or eventually one day meeting the birth family, because sometimes the curiosity of the adopted child is just too much for them. And even if they do experience some disappointment and some trauma, it might still be better to facilitate some sort of meeting, even if it's once, because it sometimes dispels a lot of the imagination with the child about what their birth family will be like when they meet them. But guys, it's going to vary so much between birth family and child, as I'm sure you can see, and between open and closed adoption. I hope that helps you guys to sort of, you know, think through some of the issues around there. Please take the time to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you will come and have a look on my channel and look at my other videos on there.